Right now, not later today, not sometimes, your dog is communicating with you. He's not barking, he's not whining, he's not doing anything that would make you stop what you're doing and pay attention. And yet, that's exactly the problem. Dogs spend the overwhelming majority of their communication in a register most humans were never taught to hear. Quiet, subtle, easy to mistake for nothing at all. A yawn, a glance, a shift in posture, a single lick of the lips. You've seen all 5 of these signs probably within the last 24 hours, and you almost certainly read every single one of them as completely meaningless. They're not. They're a language, a real one, documented, studied, and almost universally ignored by the people these signals are actually meant for. Today, you're learning to read it. By the end of this video, you'll be able to spot all 5 in real time, understand exactly what your dog is telling you when he does them, and know what to actually do about it. Let's get into it. Number 1, the yawn that has nothing to do with being tired. You know what a tired yawn looks like. Slow, heavy-lidded, usually right before your dog curls up for a nap. This is not that yawn. This yawn happens when your dog is fully awake, fully alert, often in the middle of a situation that has nothing to do with sleepiness at all. A new person arriving, a tense moment between 2 dogs, a vet exam, a loud noise. It's quicker, sharper, and his eyes usually stay open and engaged throughout it. This is called a displacement yawn, and it's one of the most well-documented stress and self-soothing signals in canine behavior. When a dog is mildly anxious, overstimulated, or uncertain, the brain triggers this physical release valve, similar to the way humans bounce a leg, crack their knuckles, or laugh awkwardly in a tense meeting. It's not about content. It's about discharging internal pressure through the nearest available physical outlet. Think of it as your dog's version of an emergency relief valve on a pressure cooker. The yawn isn't random steam escaping. It's a system telling you it's building up internal pressure and needs somewhere for that pressure to go. So, if you see this yawn during an interaction, a new person petting him, a stressful grooming session, a tense moment with another dog, that's your cue to ease off. Give him space. Slow things down. He just told you clearly that something about the current moment is more than he's comfortable with. Number 2, the lip lick with no food anywhere nearby. If there's food around, a lip lick means exactly what it looks like: anticipation. Completely normal, completely uninteresting from a behavioral standpoint, but watch for it in situations with 0 food involved. A stranger reaching down to pet him, an uncomfortable hug, eye contact held a beat too long, a loud, sudden sound. In these contexts, that quick tongue flick isn't about a sandwich. It's a calming signal, a tiny, almost involuntary gesture your dog uses to self-soothe and often to signal to whoever's nearby that he'd like the tension to de-escalate. It's the canine equivalent of someone clearing their throat repeatedly during an awkward silence. Nobody assumes a sore throat. Everybody correctly reads it as discomfort. Your dog's lip lick deserves the same read. So notice the context. If it's happening away from food, treat it as a request. Back off slightly. Lower the intensity of whatever's happening. Give him a beat to reset. Number 3, the slow motion approach. Watch how your dog approaches something, or someone, he's unsure about. Does he walk straight toward it? Or does he curve, loop, take the long way around, almost like he's tracing a comma instead of drawing a straight line? That curve is not indecision. It's deliberate, and it's one of the most sophisticated pieces of canine social diplomacy there is. In dog-to-dog communication, approaching directly and head-on is read as confrontational, the canine equivalent of walking straight at a stranger's face instead of giving them the normal, comfortable berth most humans instinctively allow. A curved approach signals the opposite. I see you, I'm not a threat, let's do this calmly. Your dog uses this exact same diplomacy with unfamiliar people, unfamiliar dogs, and sometimes even with you if you've approached him too fast or too directly during a moment he was already unsure about. When you watch your dog deliberately curve his path towards something new, you're watching him actively manage a social situation using a skill set that's been refined over thousands of years of pack communication. So let him take the curve. Don't shortcut it by physically guiding him in a straight line toward whatever he's approaching. And when you're greeting an unfamiliar or nervous dog yourself, approach at an angle, not head-on. You'll get a noticeably better reaction. If you're not subscribed yet, this is exactly the channel that keeps handing you the translation key your dog's been waiting for you to find. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and come back every week, because the last 2 signs on this list are the ones almost nobody catches, even experienced dog owners. Let's keep going. Number 4, the freeze, when stillness is the loudest signal of all. This is the sign people misread most dangerously, because stillness looks like calm. It is almost never calm. A genuine freeze, full body stillness, weight shifted slightly back, eyes wide or fixed, sometimes paired with a stiff tail, is one of the clearest warning signals in the entire canine behavioral vocabulary. It typically appears right before a dog feels he has no other communication option left. He's already tried the quieter signals, the yawn, the lip lick, the look away. Nobody responded, so his body does the next thing on the list. It stops entirely, gathering itself, deciding what comes next. Veterinary behaviorists consistently flag the freeze as the most commonly missed precursor to a defensive bite, not because dogs are unpredictable, but because humans routinely misread stillness as the dog being fine, when it's frequently the opposite. It's the calm before something, not the calm of nothing. Think of it like the pause right before someone says, "Can I be honest with you?" That beat of silence isn't peace, it's a held breath before something important. So if your dog freezes during a hug, a vet exam, a child's approach, anything, stop immediately and create space. Don't push through it. Don't assume it'll pass on its own while the interaction continues. A freeze respected early prevents almost every situation that would otherwise escalate further. Number 5, the half-moon eye, the whites showing when they shouldn't be. This is the subtlest sign on the entire list, and also one of the most reliable. Often called whale eye in behavioral literature, it's the crescent of white that becomes visible at the corner of a dog's eye when he's looking sideways at something while keeping his head turned away from it. It almost always shows up in situations involving restraint or unwanted proximity, a hug held too long, a position he can't easily exit, a resource he's protective of that something is approaching. The dog wants to keep watching the source of his discomfort, but for whatever reason isn't moving his head to do it directly. The result is that sideways glance with the whites showing, and it is, without exception, worth taking seriously. So, if you see it during a photo, a hug, a hold, anything involving restraint, that's an immediate signal to release, back off, and give him room to actually move his head and reposition. He's already told you as clearly as his body knows how. 5 signs. All of them quiet, all of them happening constantly in plain sight in homes all over the world, completely unnoticed by owners who love their dogs deeply and simply were never taught this language. The yawn that releases pressure, the lip lick that asks for space, the curved approach that diffuses tension before it starts, the freeze that means he's run out of quieter options, the whale eye that can't be faked. None of these are dramatic. None of them are barks or growls or anything that would have stopped you mid-scroll on its own. That's exactly why they matter so much, because a dog who is heard in these small, quiet moments rarely needs to escalate to the loud ones. You don't need to become a professional behaviorist to use this. You just need to start watching for 5 things you've been looking past your entire life with this dog. He's been talking the whole time. If this video just rewired how you watch your dog even a little, that's exactly what it was made to do. Like this video, it helps more dog owners learn a language their dog has been speaking to them this entire time. Comment below with which one of these 5 signs you've definitely missed before today, and subscribe if you haven't already. This channel exists to teach you the parts of your dog's world that nobody else explains clearly, every single week, backed by real science delivered in a way that actually sticks. He's been showing you this whole time. Now you finally know how to look. Subscribe. We'll see you next week.